Okay, let's dive right into this. Welcome to a brand new explainer, where we're looking at something truly transformative. We are laying out a step-by-step roadmap from age 13 to 18 to go from absolutely $0 to real financial independence. Now, if you're a teenager, this is your blueprint. And if you're a bit older, well, consider this your ultimate financial audit.
Here is the agenda for our journey today. We're going to literally track these financial milestones year by year. We'll start with the teen years foundation, move into skill building and mobility, tackle the adult financial checklist, talk about avoiding the debt trap, and finally, look at the power of compound interest.
Let's kick things off with Section 1, the Teen Years Foundation. This phase speaks directly to the 13 to 15 age group. You know, the greatest asset you have at this point isn't cash. It's the incredible advantage of having time on your side. Let's see how this all builds over a massive 6-year timeline. We start at age 13 with custodial accounts, and then move all the way through hobbies, saving, getting equipment, gaining mobility, and finally arriving at that ultimate adult checklist at 18. Each year lays a totally critical foundation for the next, so you really can't afford to skip a step here.
So starting at age 13, your main goal is to open a custodial account. Now, what does that actually mean? It's basically an investing account controlled by an adult for the benefit of a minor. This could be a junior ISA in the UK or a UGMA or UTMA in the US. Since you aren't of legal age to invest on your own just yet, you need to ask a parent or guardian to help you open one. Why? Because you want to get in early on funds like the S&P 500. To put that into perspective, it's averaged a massive 12.58% return over the last 10 years.
Moving on to ages 14 and 15, the whole strategy shifts. You need to ask for cash, not video games. At this age, you don't have rent, you don't have bills, which gives you the total freedom to try out wide-ranging hobbies. Take swimming, for example. Dragging yourself up at 4 a.m. for practice might not pay you a salary, but it builds absolute unstoppable discipline. Combine that work ethic with getting a Saturday retail job, and honestly, stop asking for short-lived presents like video games. You want to accumulate cash.
And here's exactly why you're accumulating that cash. We need to completely reframe the boring concept of saving into what we call the launch pad. This means treating your saved cash not as spending money for a weekend at the theme park, but as pure fuel to generate even more money. Building this launch pad helps you avoid the hardest thing in the world, which is trying to start a business or an investment portfolio with literally $0.
That brings us perfectly to our next section, skill building and mobility, covering ages 16 and 17. Now we're shifting our focus away from simply saving money to actively developing tangible skills and gaining the independence you'll need for the real world. $500. That number perfectly highlights our strategy for age 16. Instead of blowing money on fake guru courses online, you use your Launchpad cash to buy actual physical equipment. One teenager used exactly $500 from his Launchpad to buy a used iMac from his uncle. He sat down and completely taught himself video editing and Photoshop. That one single piece of equipment, it opened endless doors for him. So the crucial point here is that at age 17, you need to get your driving license. In the professional world, there's a saying, to be early is to be on time is to be late, and to be late is unacceptable. A lack of mobility absolutely kills side hustle opportunities. Think about it. If you have a chance to work with a client 30 minutes away and you have to rely on unpredictable public transport, you're going to end up looking highly unprofessional. Pass your test, get a cheap starter car, and remove that barrier forever.
Now we arrive at Section 3, the Adult Financial Checklist. This is age 18. Think of this as the boss level where the real world officially opens up to you and your serious financial architecture really begins.
We've got a massive 7-point checklist here. Whether you're 18 or much older, I want you to mentally tick off these actionable items as we go through them right now. We're looking at 2 bank accounts, credit cards, investing accounts, evaluating university, avoiding bad debt, starting a side hustle, and investing long-term. Let's break the most critical ones down.
First up on the checklist, you need 2 separate bank accounts. You need a checking account for everyday spending and a high-yield savings account to securely store a 3 to 6 month emergency fund. And a massive 4.1%. That's what some banks offer just for leaving your money sitting there. It literally pays to keep your emergency funds slightly out of sight and out of mind, earning interest for you.
Step 2 is getting a credit card. Now we really need to debunk that old myth of never a lender or a borrower be. A credit score is basically a financial, think of it like an Uber rating that banks use to decide if they'll give you a loan and at what rate. By putting daily expenses like gas on your card and paying it off in full every single month without fail, you build this crucial rating. And that is going to save you a massive fortune on a future mortgage.
This leads us directly into Section 4, avoiding the debt trap. As we hit the midpoints of our checklist, we really need to talk about the critical decisions you make at 18 that can either saddle you with heavy anchors or completely set you free.
And this brilliantly illustrates the divide. University makes total sense if you're training to be a doctor, a nurse, or a teacher. But for plumbing, entrepreneurship, or web development, your practical track record matters infinitely more than saddling yourself with $60,000 to $100,000 of student debt for a degree you might not even need. Apprenticeships will often even pay you to learn the exact same practical skills. We also need to compare good debt versus bad debt. Good debt is strategic. It's using a business loan to start a company, like, say, opening a radio control model shop, or a mortgage to buy an appreciating asset. Bad debt, that's consumer debt, like car finance. Right now, a staggering 2.2 million UK drivers are completely trapped in car finance, dragging down their long-term net worth just to drive a car that is actively losing value.
Finally, we reach Section 5, the power of compound interest. This is the ultimate payoff. This is exactly why starting this entire roadmap at a young age is the absolute most powerful financial move you can possibly make.
Compound interest is simply earning interest on your initial investment and then earning interest on the interest you've already earned. It's like this unstoppable snowball effect. You want to execute this inside tax-advantaged accounts, like a Roth IRA, an ISA, or a TFSA. And honestly, the best part? Modern investing apps actually let you buy fractional shares of major companies for as little as $1 single.
Let's set up a data-driven climax for you here. I want you to imagine taking exactly $250 and investing it every single month at an 8% average yearly return until you reach age 65. Let's see what happens.
Now, what's really interesting about this is the staggering difference in these two outcomes. It's entirely driven by time. If you start investing that $250 at age 18, you end up with roughly $1.5 million tax-free by age 65. But if you wait just 10 years and start at age 28, you only reach around $679,000. Starting 10 years earlier yields more than double the money. It proves without a doubt that time in the market is absolutely everything.
Which brings us to the end, and my question to you: how many boxes on the adult financial checklist can you tick off today? Building your launchpad early changes absolutely everything. But whether you're 13 or 30, the underlying principles remain the exact same. So take a hard look at your own roadmap, find the gaps, and get to work. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I challenge you to start ticking those boxes today.